Hello everyone, I'm Captain the Warlord, and welcome back to another Rome 2 online siege battle. Today I am going to be showing you a really interesting battle that I fought recently. It is actually probably one of the funniest battles I've ever played in. I am going to be bringing one of the memeiest armies I've ever brought. By this I mean I'm going to be bringing probably the dumbest army I've ever brought. That's probably what I'm going to define as a meme. And also I want to say I do apologize for the lack of content. School has just started off for me again. It has been very busy. I have a big junior year coming up, so I do apologize for not getting out a lot of videos. I'll try to get some out on weekends and maybe pre-record to get one going out in the week during the weekdays as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to be bringing one of the strangest armies I've ever brought before. But first, let's start off with the attackers. For Rome, we have E-Nasty. He's going to be bringing about 8 units of Hastati. I think three units of Evocati cohort, a Syrian archer, a Balearic slinger, and I think he has 2 Syrian archers over here, 2 Praetorian guard, another legionary cohort, and actually another unit of Hastati, so 9 units of Hastati. Going over to Seleucids, we have Atticus. He's going to be bringing 3 units of the Persian light archers, a unit of Syrian heavy archers, 1 unit of Royal Peltas, 2 Levy pikemen, a unit of Silver Shield general, Silver Shield swordsman for his general, another unit of Royal Peltas, 2 more thorax swords, a lot of hillmen, an artillery piece, and and he has an Indian armored elephant over here. No, and just an Indian war elephant, but still very deadly unit, can do a lot of damage. Then last we have Mr. Spartan 1207 here as RDI. He's just going to be bringing absolute spam with these Marines. I'm sure it amounts to something like 16 units of Marines. About 16 units. Then he's got a unit of Greek Ballista, 2 units of Illyrian Hoplites, and a unit of Illyrian Noble Hoplites as a general. This army, even though it doesn't have any skirmishers, has a ton of killing power. This is a nasty army that you do not want to see. These Marines are capable of doing so much damage. Going over to the defenders, we have Camarilla being commanded by Flo. Flo's going to be bringing a couple units of these Steppe Spearmen, some Young Axes, just a little rabble units, frontline units to be thrown into the fray. It's got a lot of these Scythian hoplites, nice cost-effective, cheap hoplite unit Samaria gets. He has some regular hoplites, some Sumerian noble infantry, and of course 4 units of the Sumerian heavy archers. And I believe he has 3 units of cav, 2 units of steppe lancers, and a unit of citizen cav over here. Going over to Saba, we have Captain Cheese Puff. He's going to be bringing a good amount of these Sabian swordsmen. I think 6 of them. He's going to be bringing a unit of Sabian spearmen. I think these are all Sabian swordsmen over here. Yeah, he's got 2 Desert Levy, which they're not really meant to do a whole lot of damage. Some archers over here, and 4 units of Caravan Guard. But this is where his army's specialty comes in. He's got 2 units of Sabian Camel Cataphracts and a unit of Marib Camel Cataphracts for his general, which are very good camels. Probably the best in the game. Then last, I'm going to be commanding Rome, but I'll show you guys my army. It's very weird, and I intended it to be that way. I have 1 unit of auxiliary cav, 2 units of Astadi, one of them on 2 chevrons, a unit of auxiliary African elephants, unit of war dogs, 1 unit of slingers, 1 unit of Syrian heavy archers, 2 units of velites, I think 4 gladiatrices, 2 units of gladiators, 2 gladiator spearmen, of Agiles, a general's bodyguard, and I think that's it. So yeah, I'm going to be bringing a rather interesting army build for Rome. So let's get this battle kicked off right away. Immediately here, I do not think that the RDI player was expecting this, but the Saba Ballista just has a nasty shot right into the sides of all these Marines, getting some really nice hits there. Already at 23 kills. Oh my gosh, absolutely tearing through the unit. This is just really bad. He's trying to move him as quick as possible. I just don't think he realized that he could set up an artillery piece here. If he can get one more shot in here. Doesn't really look like it. But if he moves these towers too much... Oh, no, he did get one last little shot there. If he moves these towers too much, though, then Samaria is going to have a nice shot in here. So he's got to be careful. He got himself in a little bit of a trap here, but he has managed to move out of range just a little bit, blocking most of the shot with the tower, and these towers over here are preventing this artillery piece from shooting at him. But this already is actually going after something else. Looks like it got some really good hits on us. Astadi, bringing it down to 135. I did not realize that whatsoever. And now I saw this artillery put a couple shots over here. It looks like he's trying to stop it from when you alt click and it turns. It's hard to stop it. What you have to do is just alt click like right down below it, like hugging the wall, and it won't shoot. I think he has managed to do that. Maybe. Oh no, it looks like he's gonna go after a Histadi unit. Oh, getting a good hit in the back ranks. Poor back ranks. They just got absolutely demolished. But yeah, it's a pretty nice hit there. Definitely say that was worth it. I think he is gonna stop now. Save the ammo a little bit for once the attackers start moving up a little bit more. And over here, this is just a perfect situation to sally out on. Absolutely no support from cav or archers. Just one single unit of Hastati. Of course, we're going to sally out against that. So we're going to be sending out some Sabian swordsmen and some gladiators. No, gladiatresses out there. The difference between gladiators and gladiatresses, if you don't know, is that basically I think these gladiatresses might have more melee defense and they have 30 more armor, but they have a 10 less melee attack. While gladiators, let me find one. Gladiators have 67 melee attack, but only 10 armor. So they're really vulnerable, but they get a lot of damage done. But still do the gladiatress. I mean, 57 melee attack and 39 weapon damage is nothing to just kind of blow away. They're very, very good, and especially if you get them on killing spree, and I think it's frenzy charge, they just go absolutely through the roof of kills. And saying that, we're having some gladiatresses charge into this Hastati, and this should just be a simple fight for these gladiatresses, especially if no support. This Hastati will get absolutely destroyed by his 2 units. It doesn't matter if this was 2 units with Hillman. There's no way that Hastati is coming out of that one. I do see some more arty shots coming in here. He has gotten a little bit more kills. Oh, kind of getting one there. Nothing too bad, but oh my gosh, if Saba's seeing this, in which he is right on it. He's going in, barely missing his shots, but he's narrowly missing the general here. I think he's probably microing this right here. But if he can get 1 or 2 good shots in this right here, he will get so many kills. Unless he's out of ammo, then that's not going to be good. But oh no, Samaria is able to get a 1 good hit there. Getting another one. Oh my gosh, absolutely tearing through this. Yeah, already I definitely noticed his mistake here by not really covering his men so well. So he's going to definitely try to hug them against the towers, which is very, very smart. Just got to be careful of Saba's artillery as well. Over here, the Romans are starting to assault. What I'm going to try to do, I was kind of a little bit delayed because I was microing over on this side. I have a unit of Hastati up here. I was trying to have them pin down this unit so their backs are exposed so I can kill off this unit of Hastati very quickly. Then go after this unit of Hastati, and I should be able to win that fight. But it didn't really work out that way. This Hastati was just not landing quick enough, and they just weren't dying very quickly. And because, as you can see, some of them were actually moving down the wall, so it's actually creating a really weird arc for my slingers, and they aren't quite able to get any real good shots off into this Hastati getting onto the walls there. But we're going to give up this area. We figured there's no real need to hold this. We're going to try to hold this tower right here because that will be a nice booster for us. They're just not attacking this area, like wall right here, so there's no point in not just holding like right here and having the tower support us and cycle charging with like something like gladiators or even cav if we have any. Could be a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and put these Vigiles in the square here, and their sole purpose is just to hold this choke point for as long as possible. Against the Hastati, they'll definitely do that for a very long time, but I do not expect a lot of kills out of those guys. I am though having my Vigiles Velites starting to fire up on the wall against their Hastati there, bringing them down a little bit, but nothing too bad. These slingers here are starting to sling away and getting 63 kills so far into the back of the Hastati, which is not bad whatsoever, but he has landed another unit of Hastati over here, and the elephants are going to be going in, flinging the Hastati around. I'm going to be dropping those guys pretty quickly, but it looks like they almost got a Javi volley off onto my elephants, which could have been pretty bad. But I'm probably going to need to get a better charge with those guys if I'm going to want to kill those Hastati. But along the front line here, no real assault RDI is moving up just a little bit, but I think he's kind of boxed up for right now, just because he's kind of being caught in the crossfire between these RD pieces. And he doesn't really want to lose to me, man. I mean, look how much he's lost already. That's got to be around 200 guys, just with artillery. Over here, though, the elephants caused a little bit of chaos, but only got 16 kills. Definitely going to need to get another charge going into them if I'm going to want that to be as effective as possible. Wasn't really the best charge ever. So what I'm going to probably try to... No, I think I actually end up turning these guys around. No, maybe not. I mean, these Stati are breaking anyway. These Gladiatrix are just getting a really good charge into them. No, okay, I'm just going to disengage this unit of Hastati up here, then have these elephants charge into these guys, and that should be enough to clean these guys up. There's no way they're going to be surviving an elephant charge, and they are climbing in kills very, very quickly. So this flank should be contained for the time being. And over here, it's just not working out too well for us. I do have a unit of Velites kind of firing into the flank of this Hastati, getting some really nice kills. But it's just not worth it for us in the end. I definitely feel like I should be falling back from this location sooner. Just because, I mean, if I fall back to these choke points here, I can get really good side shots with like archers or something, and get some good cycle charges with my gladiators anyway, so there's no real point in holding that tower. So that's kind of a mistake I made there. But if you look here, Desert Levy is actually getting good kills. Trading very well against Hillman, which I don't really understand. Maybe it's because they have good weapon damage, but you need good melee attack to even have the ability to use the weapon damage, so I don't know. Somehow Desert Levy are winning against Hillman, Desert Levy being possibly the worst unit in the game. But yeah, with the support of some gladiators, they probably should be able to beat back this unit of Hillman. And over here, RDI has started to move up completely. I think this RD is out of ammo, but 115 kills. That's not too bad. Maybe if he saved like 2 or 3 shots for just right now, he could be getting a lot more. But in the end, I'd say it was pretty worth it overall. But I mean, RDI doesn't have any tortoises, but I think he's gonna try to make a breach with this artillery piece right here. And Samaria doesn't want to compete with the Illyrian Marines on the wall, so he's actually gonna fall back to a more defensive line right here and right here on these 2 choke points, where he's gonna have support of archers up on the towers. He's gonna put these archers up on the wall and have them fire down. That way, there's nothing that the Illyrian player can do about that, because he doesn't have any skirmishers of his own, so he can't compete with those. And these are probably one of the best archers in the game, so they're going to be able to just rain down havoc if that is the case. I also do have my arty here. I am conserving its ammo as much as possible. I did throw a couple shots, maybe like over at some archers over here, tried to push them back because they're getting a little bit too close for my liking. But other than that, I haven't really used it a whole lot. I do have my auxiliary cav over here. I was going to see if I could try to get a charge onto these Syrian heavy archers. It looks like I might be able to do this. He is not pulling away. About the last second he sees this. And this is a pretty expensive unit of cav. It's like 800 florins. I don't want to charge these guys into pikemen. Looking back at it, these guys don't have their pikes down, so I probably could have done it. But I don't know. At the time, I didn't think it was the best idea, but maybe it would have been better now that I see that those pikes didn't have their phalanx down. But I was busy microing elsewhere as well, so I wasn't quite paying attention to that necessarily. But he is going to start pursuing me with some citizen cows, so I'm going to want to get out of there. My Vigiles here are starting to rout, though. They've held for a very, very long time. They've held this corridor for, not corridor, this gate, this streetway for a very long period of time. I've got like 20 kills. I'll take that with Vigiles. Normally they don't get more than 5 kills, so that's nothing too bad there. I do have some gladiators just continuing to cycle charge here against this Hastati and Hillman, and they're doing quite a lot of damage here. I'm not gonna lie. They've 111 kills, definitely not too bad. 70 melee attack though, 39 weapon damage. That is a very, very good stats there. But once again, they just have very low armor, so you do not want to expose those guys to skirmish fire whatsoever. That would just be disastrous. Another bad thing about Desert Levy is they only have 25 morale. So these guys, this one's on red morale when it has 96 men left, and it's not being attacked in the rear or anything. So that's something to look out for those guys. Alright guys, sorry, I just thought my sound was up way too high, but I just checked and it's normal, so yeah, sorry about that. I just had to go into my settings and look at that. I should probably edit that out. But yeah, we have completely fallen back from here. We definitely lost that, but I mean, I say completely fallen back. We have a unit of Sabian swords that went up the wall and got into some Balearic slingers that were positioned up here. He is kind of wasting some Jaffy volleys on these guys, but there's not going to be a whole lot he can do with these. They are going to eventually capture this tower in their favor. So yeah, we have lost that little corner here, but now we have kind of like a kill box set up. If they try to charge in here, I can charge in with some gladiators and charge in some gladiators over here. I could also have some Velite support, which, I mean, yeah, these guys, they're out of ammo. Velites are a very bad unit. I mean, they're cheap, but they're just not going to get it done. 53 kills, nothing too great, but this one still has like full ammo, but it was skirmished down a little bit by some archers, which did kind of suck. I activated Killing Spree with this unit of gladiators. I think I was going to refresh it with my general, but I must have forgot about it. No, okay, there we go. Yeah, but these gladiators are going to start climbing in kills against these weaker type of units. Definitely going to be a really nice matchup for these guys. Should be able to clean those guys up pretty nicely. But now Seleucids is starting to realize that, I mean, it's going to be a lot harder for us to hold this choke point right here. If they start putting towers up here and having guys like throw their Javies down or just putting pressure here. So he is moving up some Thorax Swordsmen and some Hillmen up onto the walls as well. But I'm going to be having some Spear Gladiatresses. Sorry, there is Spear Gladiators and Spear Gladiatresses. There are two different units. But I'm going to be having two of these guys move up, or I should say women. They're going to be moving up and kind of creating a little bit of a kill box here if he does decide to move up. I do have my only unit of archers trying to fire into the flanks of these guys, but it's just not really working out. So I'm going to tell them to halt fire here pretty soon, because that's not really a good fight for me. I also do have some auxiliary cav cleaning up some citizen cav. I actually wasn't expecting to win that fight. These guys were exhausted and they were getting pursued, but they still beat back citizen cav. So auxiliary cav for the win, but they just aren't being used very well. I kind of forgotten that I had these guys for a long period of time, so I'm going to be misusing them pretty badly. I do have some Balearic Slingers firing into the back of this Evocati cohort, but it looks like they did clean up that Sabian Swordsman pretty effectively. I think they also had support from some archers as well. But yeah, that was actually a pretty good volley there, getting like, what's that, 7 kills against that Evocati? Definitely take that any day. But yeah, these slingers are going to stop firing for now. I believe, yeah, they still have some ammo left, so that's not the end of the world there. And at this point, I was like, okay, it's not going the best on the front line, but I think we can still hold this one. Eventually, I think we can like still hold out here. But then I looked back here and I saw that they had fallen back, and I thought like there was like a lot of combat and he got pushed back. I was not paying attention to this back here. I was like, oh geez, because the victory point is right here. And so if we lose this area up here, he's in a prime position to start pushing us down here. But there is a strong defensive line set up here, and yeah, the Illyrian player is going to have troubles. But this was a very big concern to me at the point, because, I mean, look at the balance of power. We are greatly, not we are greatly, the attackers greatly have the favor. So this was a little bit concerning, I'm not going to lie. But I had faith in him to hold, and I figured he'd have some sort of plan, and the plan comes in with these archers. They are just such a nasty unit, and we'll see them being used very, very well with them. But yeah, some Hillmen are starting to break over here. This is a good idea. He's going to start moving up with a unit of pikemen against our Levian swordsmen. Just because there's nothing we can do about it. We have no archers over here. There's just no counter for the pikemen. We don't have, I don't have Javies on my units, so it's gonna be hard for us to kill these units. But we are breaking some Hillmen. I don't know. I feel like we've won this engagement here. We've killed like 2 or 3 units of Hillmen and a couple units of Astadi in return for like 1 unit of Desert Levy, which is really nice. But over here, some Steppe Lancers charging in and actually killing some of these Syrian heavy archers. Wait, does he still have all of his cav over here? Wait a second. Did I miss a lot of his cav? No, he had 3 units of cav. I think I missed the citizen cav. I think he had some citizen cav charging in here as well. Yeah, it looks like they charged in right here, maybe gotten some archers. It looks like the Seleucid is down pretty low. It looks like he's going to be getting his Steppe Lancers out of there after they killed that unit of Roman archers. These guys might come back. Yeah, they are. 45 guys left, though. They're not going to do a whole lot. And that leaves the Roman player down with 2 depleted units of archers and only one of them is a Syrian. No, they're both Syrians. So yeah, two depleted units of archers, and Seleucid still does have archers as well, but he has the Persian Lights, which aren't really the best. Over here though, my Hastati are starting to get charged by some Evocati cohort. I'm going to charge in the Gladiatresses against them. Hopefully get a pretty nice charge into these guys. That's what I'm going to hopefully be relying on. But there's just nothing I can really do to counter Evocati cohort. They're such a good unit. So I'm just kind of have to continue cycle charging. I was even thinking about even charging my elephants here, but I do decide against that just because he has archers here, and what he has done with this unit has actually warded me off from doing that. He set these guys up in a way where they can throw Pila at my guys, and oh, that was a nasty back volley there from those Evocati. But he could actually send Pila at my elephants if I did charge in there, so I figured I should save my elephants for a later time because they'll have a better use. But what I'm going to do here is just send these guys right here, and if they do decide to charge in, then I'm going to charge in with the elephants at the back of them and charge in the front with my gladiatresses. So either way, they're going to be in a tough situation there. Over here we have some Sabian swordsmen holding back against some Evocati cohort. We just aren't going to be able to win this. I've been trying to cycle charge here, but at this point we're just going to decide to do a mass fallback. You can see I just highlighted all my units, and same with Saba here. We're just falling everything back to this point here. I want to say the river, but I mean like the river kind of... Okay, we'll call this the river choke point and the gate choke point here. That's the main choke points we're going to hold. And Saba still has his 3 units of cataphracts. He's going to try to contest this over here with this cataphract. So, yeah, we're just going to have to get everything out of there. Because, I mean, he's starting to get archers up on the walls. He's capturing towers. His infantry beats our infantry. So there's just not much we can do. We're going to try to get into a more advantageous position. Because if you look at the balance of power right now, it definitely is not in our favor. So we have to think of something here pretty quickly to resolve this matter. And I think falling back was just one of our only options here. We did a lot of damage though. We have 216 kills on these guys, only 54. Let's see, 83 on those. Elephants 114, 47. Actually, maybe we didn't do a whole lot of damage. I mean, 149. That's pretty good. But he has a unit of Hillmen rushing to this gatehouse over here. I'm not sure why he's sending these guys so quickly. I mean, we're gonna send a unit of Sabian swordsmen over here, and that will contest that. Oh, what I've done is I've actually turned around my Artie, and I'm gonna be firing down into the RDI player. This is actually kind of bad because I'm killing a lot of these young axes as well. I brought these guys down 5. But I was just trying my best to help out my ally here, because I really felt like we had to do everything in our power to win this right here. Cause I felt like we were going to lose, because he is definitely losing a lot of men very quickly. But these archers are just killing everything they see. 116 kills, 48 missile damage. They are just demolishing these units of Illyrian Marines. Over here though, these Marines though are getting pretty wrecked by my artillery, which is now firing into the sides of them, just absolutely wrecking them. And it is costing some toll in young axes now. But yeah, he's starting to get a really good push here, and he is definitely planning on moving this artillery up to the front lines and shotgunning it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring my elephants over to this side and wait for a good opportunity to when he's completely out of ammo and fully engaged, to then charge in and see which type of damage I can do with them. Hopefully that'll be enough to kind of swing the tide of this battle over here, because right now I would definitely say he's winning this. There's no way we're winning this battle at the moment. I mean, these hoplites are just dying left and right. These Marines can throw like 5 javelins, then they can go ahead and go into melee and be just as good as some of these hoplites. That's the really good thing about RDI. They're just so versatile in that category. They can form square and hold for a very long time. But yeah, he's definitely doing some really good work here against Samaria. Over here though, Seleucid is just trying to bait. He's just doing like a baiting thing. He's going to try to get us to charge into his hillmen. Then he can lure us into a trap over here. But we're just going to continue to fall back, because there's no real point in going into that. Seleucid is opening up artillery here. He has saved his ammo for this exact moment until we're kind of clumped up near the victory point. Luckily he's using explosive shot, so it's not really doing that much damage. Like you can see here, it got a pretty good hit, but only killed like a couple gladiators. So yeah, definitely kind of thankful he's using explosive shot, unless he would be doing a lot more damage. Now is the time to strike. We have the elephants coming in. Let's see here if we can insert. Elephants are going into the hoplites, absolutely crushing them. And now they're going to turn around and try to go into the main fight as well. See how they can turn this fight around. And the Marines, the poor Marines, absolutely getting destroyed. Now we go further into the enemy, onto the breach. And here we go. We're going to charge into these guys and just absolutely demolish them. And I'm just going to try to get through them and go into the backs of the enemy here. Let's see if I can get a better view of an elephant. It doesn't look like I can. But yeah, now the elephants are going to be charging into the backs of these lines, and they're going to absolutely start melting through these units of Marines. They're already up to 300. Oh yeah, they're climbing so quickly, up to 400 kills almost. And now they're going to continue the cycle charge into these units of Marines. And now he's going to have to commit his general here. And he's in a little bit of a situation now because he has all these units trapped over here, and he's losing his flank really quickly. But he does still have this artillery he can shotgun. He's going to actually try to get some hits onto my elephants here. Actually hitting his own artillery piece, so he's going to have to switch which one he is using. But what the Sumerian player is going to do is he's going to use of his Steppe Lancers, get through this gap right here, and actually charge into this artillery and get it off the battle before it becomes too big of an issue. And here comes the rear charge into the Illyrian Noble Hoplites, which, I mean, you'd expect any unit to die extremely quickly when being charged in the back. Not Illyrian Noble Hoplites. Those guys will kill anything that charges them back. They are a nasty unit, but these elephants, they are doing so much good work, up to 526 kills. Definitely worth it to bring these guys. They did so much good damage against these. And I wouldn't say that they swung the tide over here, but they definitely helped with a better outcome. By that I mean, like, they helped by having less casualties, I guess is what I was going to say. Because if we didn't have them holding out here, the casualties for this side would have been much greater otherwise. But the artillery, though, is being cleaned up, and now he's just going to try to get every last unit he has out of the city and try to conserve his guys. He's going to try to get them to these stakes over here as quick as possible, because my elephants, they're coming around, baby. They are coming around. They're going to try to get into these guys. Actually, no, they're going to go for a charge into the general. Looking back at it, probably should have charged after these guys, getting them out of the field quicker. But I don't know, these Steppe Lancers can do that too, but Steppe Lancers being used very well. And, oh, I don't know if this was intentional, but he did dismount his guys here. And because they have support of a tower, the enemy captured a tower right here, it actually caused the horses to run away, so I think that was a bit of a mistake there. I don't know if that was intentional. Now these Illyrian Marines are going to be charged by the elephants, and there's not really a whole lot they can do about that. So that is going to be this side secured, and it's going to make this front over here look a lot better than it otherwise would. Saba has done a really good job in slowing down the Romans, while me and Sumerian microed over here. They have not decided to move in at this front, which is a little bit surprising. I thought they would have started moving up a lot quicker, but yeah, I guess they opted not to. I don't know what he's firing. Some archers. I did not realize this. Like I said, I wasn't microing. Yeah, so he's killing my archers without them really being able to do a whole lot. But I'm going to have to charge in some of my Hastati here. Actually, no, gladiators to hold back against this Hastati. And the Roman player is starting to send some support against this bridge side here. What he doesn't realize is, if you're playing this map, just know that this river is crossable everywhere except, well, everywhere in the city it's crossable. So what he could do is send a unit around here and go around and hit us in the back. That's all he needs to do. But a lot of people just don't realize that. But yeah, this Hastati here is going to be charged from the front, and what he doesn't know is that it's soon going to be charged from the back as well. 2 units of Sabian Camel Cataphracts coming around, and this unit of Evocati cohort does not realize that either, and they're about to take a nasty charge from this unit of Sabian Camel Cataphracts. God, I feel like the gladiators are so loud. Yeah, these guys are going to take a absolutely nasty charge. And boom, absolutely flattened and got into the back of the Hastati. That was just devastating. You can see the kills just climbing up there. He did use trample Oh my gosh, he's just absolutely killing all these Romans, and now this Evocati is surrounded, and that was a big mistake from the enemy. I don't think he realized kind of the situation there. I do have a unit of gladiators breaking though, 42 men, so they probably should come back eventually. But yeah, I'm gonna have some gladiators just continuing to cycle charge through these guys here. Try to kill them off as quickly as possible. But now the Roman is starting to run relatively low on men. He is starting to send up some out-of-animal archers to this position here. We just have some spear gladiatresses holding. Spear gladiatress is very good for a spear unit, a cheap spear unit that will get a lot of damage done. 70 melee defense, definitely take that, but 40 melee attack and 29 melee defense, 29 melee attack, no, weapon damage, sorry. Let's see here if I can get a stat on their weapon damage, how much AP they have. 5 AP, that's not too terrible. I'll take that on a spear unit. But yeah, the gladiators continue to cycle charge against these Hastati. And now that we have this cleaned up over here, we can start to send troops around and getting into the back lines of the Roman player, which he is starting to send up his elite guys. He has the Praetorian Guard moving up here, probably trying to guard this choke point, and he has an Evocati moving up here, probably trying to guard over here, protecting his flank. But he is starting to lose men here as well. These Hastati are not going to last long against the gladiatresses. And right after these guys break, we're going to charge right into his Evocati cohort. But he did move up some pikemen here, which is kind of scary. He doesn't have Roman pike phalanx yet, so there's nothing to be scared about. But once he does, we're going to have to approach this a little bit differently. Gonna have some more gladiators, no, more gladiators moving up, getting some charges off into these guys. They're not doing too well with the pikemen though. They've lost like 40 men, just some charges from not having his pikes down. I'm gonna disengage from that though, and just have my velites just whittle these guys down as much as possible. So we don't have to face him in the front. But he has still, yeah, okay, there we go. He still has yet to put down his pike phalanx at that point. But yeah. Like I was saying, he did not realize that you can cross the river, even though he crossed the river. So I don't know why he was just leaving this flank unguarded, but now there's going to be a good charge off into these archers here, and he's leaving his pikemen not in phalanx, and they are going to be absolutely destroyed. With support of some velites, there's no way these guys are going to hold up with their bad morale. And now that these guys are cleaned up, he can either go for the general or get a really good rear charge into this Evocati cohort, which is honestly already losing because just look at the stats, 60, 54, and 42. Yeah, that's going to be really nasty for his Evocati cohort, and it's actually dropping pretty quickly. He should definitely get a charge off into the flanks of these guys, but there is some elephants moving up. That is pretty bad because elephants will obviously take care of cavalry pretty quickly. But he's going to get a really nice charge into the back of these Praetorian Guard as well. Won't kill too many of them. He will kill a couple. But Praetorian Guard are very resilient, and they won't do... they will hold up against like the first couple charges. But after like 2 or 3 charges, they will start to die. He is starting to send these camels around. He is walking them. I don't think that's intentional. But it looks like he's just going to have this camel charge into the rear. No, I think he's just going to try to get away from these elephants. And we saw these elephants and we were like, start putting fire ammo on them right away, because if he starts running amok, he'll be running amok into Praetorian Guard. I mean, depleted young axes, yes, that sucked, but you know, the young axes. The general unit, some archers, some more Praetorian Guard. So we were trying to run them amok there, but we just weren't quite able to do it with just that first couple volleys. But now we're moving up all of our archers to start to deal with that. I am gonna move my elephants to this bridge area here, so I can either send them in support to the river flank here, or send them around the river flank and get some good charges off there. But I haven't quite decided what I'm gonna do with that yet. They are starting to put a much more nasty assault over here, moving out the Royal Peltist. We do not have the infantry that's going to be able to beat those guys, so we're going to have to get a little bit creative with these. We have been cycle charging as of yet, but that hasn't really worked out too great so far. And the camels are just continuing to charge against these Evocati. He might be able to get a really good charge off into these guys, but it does look like the Roman player has seen that. And I'm actually going to take the... What? Those elephants just became visible. Yeah, I'm actually going to take the liberty and charge into these Evocati cohort because he has not seen this yet, and he's not going to be able to get a Javi volley off. So this Evocati should die fairly quickly. Stampede charge, they're going to go down very fast. And yeah, Evocati not gonna last against elephants. I was debating whether to charge these guys, but about 3 javelins ran my guys amok and killed a unit of my elephants. I understand the hit points have gone down significantly, but seriously, running them amok, that's a little bit ridiculous in my opinion, but it is what it is. But the Cimmerian player actually managed to run these elephants amok over here at the same time, killing a bunch of the Roman archers, and now the Roman general is in jeopardy right here, and he's going to start to die too to his own allied elephants. Not dying too quickly, but there we go. Yeah, those elephants are doing a ton of damage to their own general. I don't think they actually kill him, but they have a very good chance of doing it. They have come back, so he's going to continue to probably put some fire ammo down these guys. Yeah. I think if they just ran amok, that they are more susceptible to doing it if they're exposed to fire ammo. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I'm pretty sure, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm going to get another charge into the backs of these Praetorian Guard. He is going to counter charge here, but that's not going to really save him. These elephants are going to start to get some pretty good kills against Praetorians, but their hit points are down a lot. They're getting shot. They're engaging against Praetorians. These elephants have done their jobs. 700 kills, I'll take that with these guys. I'm not disappointed in them whatsoever. And they're going to start dying here pretty quickly. They're out of control and losing men very quick, just because their hit points are down very low. And yeah, over here we're continuing to cycle charge, which is not really working out so well, because these guys do have 56 melee defense. So we do still have some archers. We can just position some right here, get some flanking shots over once we know that the Seleucid archers are out of ammo. But I mean, lucky us, they are not out of ammo. They're still continuing to fire. He's conserved his ammo very, very well, so that's going to become quite a bit of an issue for us. We have no real counter to that. Salva still does have his archers, but he hasn't really used them a whole lot yet. I don't think Salva's archers are that good anyway. But we're just going to get one last charge into these Praetorians. Not going to really do a whole lot of damage. They're running amok. And the Praetorians should be able to bring these guys down in melee. I can't imagine their hit points being too high at this point. And yeah, there goes one. And then the last elephant here, holding in the water. He has come back. I was going to try to get him out of there. But it looks like that's not going to be possible. He's either going to break or he's going to die. Which one's going to be? And it looks like, oh, he broke. Oh no, he died. Why did they just let him live? He's a poor elephant. He didn't deserve this life. But yeah, his camels have done so well. 5 losses for 200 kills. I would definitely consider that a good kill to death ratio. 15 for 97, that's not bad at all either. And he still has his best unit of camels are still over here yet to do any real damage. Praetorian's kind of charging in here, but he's just going to get his camels out of that. And if we can get a good rear charge into his Praetorian Guard, that'd be really, really nice. But we should honestly get a flanking force going around here and just continue to send some troops around, because there's no real point in not doing that. We've basically killed all the reserve infantry. But yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to send some gladiators, more gladiators, and some Hastati around and get into the flanks of these guys, because this Praetorian Guard is still going to be quite a tool to have to deal with. Definitely not a unit. I mean, even elephants had struggles against these guys, but that was just a nasty charge against those Praetorians. I've been talking about hit points a lot. These guys have started to lose hit points, so they will start dropping very quickly, especially since that was a back charge. Morale even dropped down to yellow. I doubt these guys will break that fast. Losing about 30 men in that charge. Probably should just cycle these guys out and continue to cycle charging these guys. So yeah, these Romans over here should start to be cleaned up very fast. And once this unit breaks, then we're going to have a clear shot into this one back here. And he is embraced. He's going to try to get a jabby volley off, which, I mean, he did do quite a lot of damage. But it was at the sacrifice of bracing, which is going to cost him a lot of men in the end, which I do not think was worth it. But now we have some soldiers coming around the flank here, and Samaria sending more and more support here. These hoplites, Scythian hoplites, are just so good. They'll hold out for so long against anything. Such a good unit. And the last full unit of Romans getting charged by some camels. Wasn't the best charge, but still taking down a couple of these guys. Gonna want to get those guys out of there though, because they won't last for too long. And these Praetorians over here are starting to be charged by some gladiators and gladiatresses, and once they break, we'll be able to get into the flanks of these guys. Seleucid is just focusing everything that he has on this choke point. So what we're just doing is we're having one unit of hoplites hold back against all this infantry, and just having some archers move up here, and Saba's archers are also moved up, shooting at these guys. He has the step archers, so I think he has glitched those guys in, but he hasn't really used them a whole lot yet. So I don't know. That's normally I don't glitch in units, but I don't think he's really used them that well. Not that well. He just hasn't really used them a whole lot. So I don't really think in this case it really matters their range. The only bad thing about Saban archers is they have 5 less melee missile damage and 25 less range, but I mean, it is pretty significant. I normally just play with regular, what like my faction has, but some people just play different, and I gotta respect that. And yeah, it's getting some really good shots into these Royal Peltists here. Heavy shot is just doing a lot of good damage, and this depleted unit of archers has managed to rake in 128 kills against a unit of pikemen and Royal Peltists, when it was basically, I thought it was going to be done. So really good results there. I was quite happy with that. And Saba is just doing some cycle charges here, getting a charge into the flanks of these guys. Illyrian hoplites are very good, and so are Illyrian Marines, but if they continue to get cycle charge, they won't last for too long. They've lost their general. They have nothing to fight for anymore. So yeah, the Marines are going to start to rout here. And over here we have cleaned up those Romans, but at a significant cost there. So we'll just continue to cycle charge this unit Legionary cohort. I'm going to have my general charge into the backs of these guys as well. So yeah, these Legionaries should die pretty quickly. Can't imagine they'll be around for too long, but they've done their damage. 131 kills, definitely very, very nice. So we've killed one unit of Royal Peltists, but now we have another unit moving up, which kinda sucked. And they have a unit of Silver Shield Swordsmen, which is being focused down by all these archers right here. And also Caravan Guard throwing in their javies as well. Caravan Guards seem to have like almost like the range of Thurio spears with their javies, but they can't manually throw them, if that makes any sense. I've always noticed that about them, but I've never really tested it out a whole bunch. I think they have like special javi abilities. I don't know. I'll have to test that out. But yeah, this Legionary cohort over here is dropping very quickly due to rear charges, and these Gladiatrices is having insane stats. I'm gonna have to refresh those guys there. Yeah. So we've cleaned up this flank, and now we'll just probably start putting some pressure over here once we've kind of got a good amount of troops over here. And does Samaria still have ammo with his guys? Nope, out of ammo, but 200 kills. Yeah, he got 100 kills on all of his archers. Really, really good stuff there. And it looks like Seleucid's gonna try to send his elephants over around this way. But I think what was happening here is the Seleucid player sent a Hillman unit to try to break down this gate here, which was actually really smart, but the Saba player actually sallied out with the unit of Sabian swords and it cleaned it up, so that's going to prevent these elephants from charging into this gate. And yeah, so now these elephants are kind of stuck here. It's either they go in through this breach over here, which they'll have to deal with stakes, or they go in through this breach over here, which just won't end out too well for them. It looks like the Seleucid general has fallen as well. It's just down to some Royal Peltists going against some Sumerian noble infantry. These pikemen are starting to move up. 55 men left, but they're so bad. Levy pikemen are not very good, so they're breaking before they even get to the front line. And some Persian lights over here also starting to rout there. Some Thorax swords are going to be the last stand on this flank. Going to be facing some steppe spearmen, Sabian camels, Scythian hoplites, more Scythian hoplites. Yeah, there's no way they can win against all of this. They're still gladiators. Samaria is really down on the infantry. We don't have a whole lot of ammo left. That's kind of a bad thing because, I mean, they still have elephants, but yeah, I think it's probably safe to go on double speed here. I'm just going to be cleaning up what's left of these Seleucids right here, and I think it's just going to be routing units. Yep, the unit of Thorax over here is being engaged by the Sabian camels, who have done such good work. He did a really good job using those guys. I tend to struggle sometimes when I use like all cav, or when I try to focus on cav, because I don't know, I just never feel like I use them properly. These Royal Peltists are definitely taking a toll on us though. 176 kills, but he just used the whip, so these guys are going to be exhausted. And they're going to pretty soon get attacked in a rear penalty from these units of gladiators. So they shouldn't be around too much longer. And these Thorax swords are actually going to retreat to those African elephants, no, Indian elephants, but the mass routing is going to start to set in, and the thorax swords and elephants are going to rat off the field before they can really do any real damage. And that is going to be the end of the battle. So yeah, that was a really fun battle. I definitely enjoyed that one a lot. Had a lot of kills, but definitely owed that to my archers there. Did a really nice job. But we'll take a look at Flo's army. Samaria is a very tough faction to get a lot of kills with, and getting 1,700 with them, that is very, very admirable. He did such a good job with his archers. Citizen Cav and Step Cav. Doing pretty well for the prices. 104, definitely take that. 132 on his general, and he had a ton of men left, so that's pretty nice. 108 on this one, 108 on this one. On the Scythian Hoplite, so yeah, not bad at all. But just look at those kills on the archers. Fantastic work there. Going into Saba, he barely had to use his army. He just really used a couple of his Desert Levy. His Cav just did so well, both of them getting over 200. His archers, 111, 111, so I'm doing alright. Caravan Guard were barely even used. Sabian Swordsman were used pretty effectively, 113 and 141. Definitely pretty good kills on those guys, because they aren't the best infantry in the game. But they'll definitely do pretty well. Going over to my army, my elephants obviously carried the team, carried my kills there with getting almost 750 kills. Archers doing okay, 148, 248. Veletate's not doing too well. Gladiators getting pretty good kills, 229. I'll take that. And the War Dogs, I actually did release them there. I forgot to show that. They got into some archers, into the back of some thorax swords as well. So they actually did some pretty good damage. Mr. Spartan just really struggled against the elephants. He was doing very, very well. Just those elephants came in there, really gave him a hard time, and that's kind of why, because his killing push was about to start, but just wasn't able to finish it. Seleucid just kind of struggled. His archers just weren't able to do a whole lot. He wasn't able to use his elephants at all. Pikes were just focused down, and his Pelotist and Thorax swords did okay though. That's definitely not too bad. But Roman player did very good. Archers not so well, but the infantry 163 on Hastati, 197, 122, 169, 259, and 146. Definitely really good kills there. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the battle, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content. And thank you all for your patience on the battles. I'll try to get them out at least every weekend. I do apologize for that, but it is just how it's going to have to be, because I have to focus on school and life. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.